One of the biggest struggle for beginners is to how to pick the right shade, the correct value for their reference. It can be tricky sometimes, but don't worry, I'm here to help you through it. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you that how to determine the right value, the right shade for your reference, and pick the perfect pencil and shade your face realistically, your drawing face realistically, step by step. So yeah, grab your supplies and let's dive into it. Let's get started. And of course, I'm using the IPS Pen text app to make everything clearly, so you will Alright, we are on my phone screen and I'm using the IPS Pen text app for this tutorial. Just to clarify, the technique I'm about to isn't my own original technique. I learned it from another artist and it helped me so much, so I'm very excited to show with you guys the technique I like the most, and maybe you will get benefit from it. So yeah, so right now, as you can see, here is our reference, and the technique to determine the shades is first just look at closely your reference, just determine the lightest shade and the darkest shade, then tip it so your brush will get that color, and then just like trace it and draw a circle just like this. So here we are drawing the lightest shade, and with the another side all the darkest shade. So you need to do this at the same, like you just don't need to just do with all face and all clothes of her. No, just determine the darkest shade and the lightest shade, the darkest shade and the lightest shade. When you just first pick the lightest shade and then look it for the another lighter one, or maybe a bit darker to the that one, and then just pick tip that one area, and then your brush get that color and just draw a circle just like this. As you can see how I did this. Now the edges of the face have a little bit darker value, so I just tip that area and then just draw a circle. Now the shadows have the darkest gray color, so then I'll just like do this, and then her eyeball obviously have a darkest black. As you can see, now we need to do same for her hair. As you can see, the lightest area, the area that where the light is through is the lightest shade, and then the darkest area of the hair have a bit darker to the lighter one, and then same to her clothes, and then we are done with our values. As you can see how easy is this way to just determine the shades. As you can see how easy it was. When you do it by yourself, you will realize how easy it is. Now we have our lightest shades and then our darkest shades. Now we are done here. Now let's go and pick the right matched value of this picture. Transfer that picture to my PC, and here as you can see our darkest shade and our lightest shade, and I'm going to use my diary to pick the right match pencils for this reference. So yeah, let's go. Alright, we will start with the lightest shade first, and choose your lightest pencil. In this case, I'm using the F grade pencil because this pencil is matched to our lightest shade perfectly. As you can see, the F grade pencil. Let's move on to our second shade, and I am using the B grade pencil. As you can see, it matched well, so I am using the B grade pencil because it matched well, just like the reference. Now for our third one, I am using the B grade pencil because these both have a same shade, so that's why I just quickly move on to the darker one, the edges of the face, the 3B grade pencil. As you can see, matched well. And then I'm using the 4B grade pencil, but I forgot to write their grades, their names, B grade and then 3B grade pencil. As you can see, now I'm using the 4B grade pencil. As you can see, because our last shade is matched to our 4B grade pencil, and I skipped that one shade because the first and the last both have the same shades. Now I will write that 4B grade pencil. Now let's move on to the darkest area. Now our first darkest shade, which is the hair shade, is matched to our 5B grade pencil. So as you can see how easy it was to just pick the right pencil that matched to their shades. Now the eyes, the eyeliner have the 6B grade pencil matched. The 6B grade pencil is matched to the eyeliner shade. And now for this one I'm using the 2B grade pencil, but I don't think that the 2B was needed because the other pencils can do the work of 2B. Now obviously the darkest area of the whole reference is the eyes, the iris, and I'm using the 8B grade pencil, and you can think, you just see that how small it was because I use it a lot. Now here as you can see the 8B, but the place of 8B maybe I use a ball pen, but I don't prefer the ball pen. Now I have our shades, we are done with our shades. Now the supplies I'm going to use is the needle eraser, the brush is soft brush for blending, a normal eraser, and of course a normal sharpener. Maybe I use a white charcoal pencil, but I don't think. Now we have our supplies and our shades, so yeah, let's move on. Now we will first erase the outline a bit with the needle eraser because the outline is so dark and it can be it can create a problem while shading. So I will light it out with the needle eraser and then we will start shading. We will first start with the eye, and on the eye I'm first starting with the eyeliner, and I'm using the 4B grade pencil for the eyeliner because it almost matched to the black color of the Bible. But we are not done with the 4B grade pencil. After 4B grade pencil I'm using the 8B grade pencil because we want our iris to be darkest. If it's not darkest, your eye never looks realistic. Now just like this, now I will start shading the iris, sorry, just like this with the 4B grade pencil. And now we will draw the waterline. Apply light pressure with the waterline to create the smooth transaction, just like this, very light pressure. And then I will draw the eyelid line with the same 4B grade pencil, just like this, but the eyelid, just mark those words, the eyelid and the eyeliner and the iris need to be dark enough. Now for the white of the eyes I'm using the F grade pencil. Now blend it out and again just shade it out with the F grade pencil. Now the shadows of the eyelids is very important. This is what will make your eye looks realistic, so you need to draw this shadows, the eyelid shadow with the B grade pencil. Now again I'm using the 8B grade pencil to make her iris more darker, just like this, and the other areas more darker. Now I blend it out with the soft blending brush, just like this. Now again I am using the F grade pencil to shade the eyelid. And now first I always say I will start with the darkest area and then slightly move on to the lightest. First I shade the darkest area of the eyelid, then I blend it out, then again just dark enough, step back the dark enough those area with the 3B grade pencil, as you can see. And then again I just focus on the darkest shadow, the darkest area first, and then slightly go with the lightest area. Always first start with the darkest area. Now as you can see I'm using the 3B grade pencil to again just make it more darker and then blend it out. The eyelids need to be, the line of the eyelid need to be dark enough, and then the upper of the eyelids have a bit highlighted so it will pop up and it looks pop up. and of course the white of the eye shadows will also make your eye looks pop up. Now I use the needle razor to draw the highlight, on the white of the eye. Now for the lower eyelid, again I'm using the 3B grade pencil and I will blend it out. And then again with the lower eyelid of the eye, I use the 3B grade pencil and I'm using the same process. I will first start with the darkest area, and always when you shading the face area, always apply light pressure on your pencil. Just don't apply too much pressure on your pencil. If you apply too much pressure on your pencil, your drawing will be just worst and drawing out, and you can't fix it because you apply so much pressure on your pencil and you can be erase it. Now I use the ball pin to make the eyeball a bit more darker, but I don't prefer use a ball pin. Use a color pencil, but just don't use a ball pin because it's a risk to use the ball pin. Now for the second eye, another eye, I using the same process. I will first start with the 3B grade pencil to just draw her outline bit. Now again I'm using the 4B grade pencil for the eyeball, iris. I always call it eyeball, but it's iris. I use the 4B grade pencil, and for her eyeliner, of course, I use the 4B grade pencil. Now I use the needle razor because I think that the eyeballs turn out a bit more bigger than other ones, so I'll make it smaller. And then I just let the area of the highlight, just don't shade the area, the highlighted area of the eyeball, because if you shade it, it will never be just highlighted as the whitest as it was. It will never just be the whitest if you just shade it out. And now again I just blend it out again using the 4B grade pencil and the needle razor to make it to draw the highlight. And now I blend it out again using the 4B grade pencil, and now I'm using the B grade pencil to draw the shadow of the white of the eyeshadow. Again, the white of the eyeshadow is very important. It's what that makes your eye looks pop up, looks realistic. And then I draw her eyelashes with the same 4B grade pencil, as you can see. But you can use the 8B or 7B grade pencil because those pencils are so small. That's why I use a 4B grade pencil in the place of this pencil. But you can always use a 7B or 8B pencil for the darkest, the eyeliner and the eyeball. Now again I use the same process with the eyelid and the lower eyelid. I use the same process to start with the darkest area and then lightest area. I hope I just record that process, but because I just stopped my phone and I just don't realize that the video recording is stopped, and then I just shade all of the eyelid and everything, and then I just realized that it stopped, so that's why it can be recorded. But then I use the same process. Now I use a ball pin to make it darker, make the eyeball and the eyeliner and the eyelashes and the eyelid darker. Now for the eyebrows, I use a F grade pencil to first shade the surface, and then with the 4B grade pencil I draw the stroke, every single stroke, the hair of the 4B grade pencil, because Asian peoples have a very lightest beautiful eyebrows, so that's why we don't need to draw so much layers and too much pencils for the eyebrows. We will just simply shade it with the F grade pencil and draw her a hair with the 4B grade pencil. Finally, it's time to draw the nose, and I first as always pick the 4B grade pencil, and I will first start drawing the nostrils. I always start with the nostrils while shading the nose, and then I just draw the outline of the nose, because the nose, the downer area of the nose have a shadow, sorry, so that's why. And now I'm using the 2B grade pencil to shade the nose. As you can see, I use the 2B grade pencil. I first say I'm not going to use, but maybe I just need to use it, so that's why I'm using the 2B grade pencil to shade the nose. Now I blend it out with the soft brush. As you can see, again I start with the shadows. As you can see, I start with the nose shadows first, because if you start with the darkest area then slightly go with the lightest area, your reference, your drawing, your portrait turn out so beautiful, and you will see the life is coming in your drawing it's just like popping up, as you can see. Now I use the 3B grade pencil to make the shadows for the next layer. For the shadows, we will start just adding layer and layer until we feel the realisticness, the that in our portrait. Now again, as you can see, I'm using the 3B grade pencil to make the shadows more darker, and then I will blend it out with the soft brush. And then as you can see, I just blend it out. Make sure to blend well, just don't let any pencil stroke, because it looks so messy if you have a pencil stroke on your reference and you are sorry, in your drawing. Now again, I use a 3B grade pencil to make it more darker. And as you can see, I will step up, and then using the darkest grade pencil, and then the darkest grade pencil, and then the darkest. But always remember, light very. Now I'm using a 4B grade pencil. Now where I am is where I always add a light pressure, a very light pressure on your pencil while you are shading the face, because face is a very sensitive area in a real life and in a drawing too. So you always need to just light pressure, just don't add any pressure on your pencil, and just like shading out. Now again, I'm using the 4B grade pencil to make the shadows a bit more darker. Like, you just don't need to work on the lightest area of the nose, because when you draw the shadows of the nose and blend it out, the lightest have automatically have a layer of the light shade. So you just don't need to work the lightest area on the lightest area that much, but you always need to let the lightest area make the lightest area lightest. And with the help of the kneaded razor, you will make it lighter time to time. Now I'm using the ball pen to just make the nostril dark enough, because the nostril always need to be dark enough. If the nostril not dark enough, your drawing never looks realistic, your nose never looks realistic. But we do this process with the nose, like we start with the darkest area on the nose. But with the face, you will first start with the F grade pencil, shade it up the F grade pencil with, and then just slowly moving on to the darkest area. But you always need to start with the shadows. If no matter if you are pick the F grade pencil, you will focus on the shadows first in face and everywhere. Now I blend it out, and before blending, I use a 8B grade pencil for a face. I use a 8B grade pencil for a face, but I don't prefer use a 8B grade pencil. But if you use it, add a very light pressure on your pencil. If you are experienced on, if you have experience on sketch and pencil, then you can use a 8B grade pencil, but very light pressure, with the very light pressure. Now I blend it out again with the soft blending brush, and now I'm using a kneaded razor for a highlight. Now again, I'm using the 5B grade pencil. This one pencil is the 5B grade pencil. Just look at the size of this pencil. This one is the 5B grade pencil. Now I blend it out, as you can see. Now again, using the 5B grade pencil to make the shadows a bit more darker. But whenever you use a 8B grade pencil, like I don't prefer to use a 8B grade pencil for the face, but whenever you use for the shadows, I just add a very light pressure to your drawing to make it looks more realistic with the very light pressure. If you add too much pressure, you will just ruin everything. Now I'm just move on to the shadows of the nose. Now I'm using the 5B grade pencil first to draw the shadows, and then I'm using the the B grade pencil, just like this. Now blend it out with the soft blending brush. As you can see, now again I'm using the 4B grade pencil to make the shadows a bit more darker. Like, the shadows always need to be darker, but the starting of the shadows is need to be darker. Then slowly, when you are just slowly moving on to the downer area, the shadows will be slowly make it lighter, so it will just give the look, the illusion, the look of the shadow. But if you just draw whole shadow darker, it will never look like the shadow. The shadows, when you always just look at the shadow, it was darker at the start and then slowly get lighter at the end. Now I use a ball pen to make the nostril more darker. Now again I use a 4B grade pencil to make the shadows more darker. As you can see, I will work until I see the realisticness on this drawing, the realisticness on this face. I will work until I feel that I am done. Now again I work on the shadows with the 4B grade pencil, drawing the shadows, and then I blend it out. Now after blending, I'm using the 8B grade pencil to make the shadows looks more darker. Now I use the 8B grade pencil for the shadows, but again I used it for the starting of the shadows, because I wanted to make it to look so much darker. Now we are done with our shadows and our downer area of the nose. Now I'm going to, now let's move on to the lips. Now for lips, I'm using again the same 4B grade pencil. I will start with the 4B grade pencil and then blending it out, because my 4B grade pencil have a nice sharp tip. That's why I always use a 4B grade pencil for everything, for every starting of the, but not for starting for the but not for face obviously. Now I use the 4B grade pencil as I say, and I'm using it for the outline of the lips and the between line of the lips. Now I'm using the 5B grade pencil for the darkest shade of the upper lip. I'm starting with the upper lip, and then the lower lips, the darkest shadows of the lower lips, as you can see. And then I use the wrinkles of the lips. Sorry, I draw the wrinkles of the lips again with the same 5B grade pencil. I draw all of the wrinkles, and now I capture that. I just capture the highlight of the lips, the glossiness of the lips, and then I blend it out with the soft blending brush. And now I'm using the 4B grade pencil. Now you are wondering that why I use a 5B grade pencil first and then I use a 4B grade pencil, because by blue sketch pencil you see that I used two type of sketch pencil, the blue ones and the black ones. My black ones have a more darkened than the blue one. If the blue one 5 is not as darker as the black one 4 is, so that's why my 4B grade pencil have a more darkness, have a more dark shade than the 5B grade pencil. So that's why I always use a 4B grade pencil after the 5B grade pencil. And now I use a ball pen to draw the between area of the nose, sorry, the between area of the lips. And now again I use a 4B grade pencil for the shadows. I work until I see the realisticness. Now you can see that the area that is near to the between line of the lips need to be dark enough, because it's have that roundiness, and we want that we will give the lips the roundiness effect. So we will need to the downer lips, starting of the downer lips need to be dark enough, and then the inner corner is need to be the dark enough, and then the outer corner is need to be light enough. Means that a bit lighter than starting of the nose, the inner corner of the lips. Sorry, why I called it nose lips, sorry. Now I use a 5B grade pencil to make the shadows a bit more darker. Now I blend it out and I adding layers and layers until I feel the realisticness. Now again I use a ball pen. After blending, you always need to make the darkest area more darker, because after blending the darkest area have a dustiness of the blending, so it looks more lighter. So you always need to step back and make it darker. Now I use a kneaded razor for the highlight, and now again I use a 8B grade pencil. Now blend it out. I'm just working until I feel the realisticness. I just working on the shadows until I feel the realisticness on my lip. At the end I use a white charcoal pencil for the glossiness of the lips and the highlight for the tip of the nose. But it's okay if you don't have white charcoal pencil, you can use a sharp area of your eraser. And I draw the glossiness and the highlight more highlighted, more whiter than a reference, because if you do that, if you draw the darkest, if you draw, you are drawing more darker than a reference, and if you draw the highlighted more highlighted than highlights more highlighted than a reference, you looks that your drawing looks pop up and realistic. And now we are done with our drawing, we are done with our rosé, and I hope that you like today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope this is helpful for you. I hope the tips that I give is very helpful for you. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Thank you so much.